by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, season 15 winner and your final American Idol, Trent Harmon. Pacquiao, Bradley3 on the way. Thank you.
All right, so with the national anthem, we're getting ever so much more close to the start of our big main event of the evening. Manny Pacquiao and Timothy Bradley. Just soak up the atmosphere here now. Well, of course, the atmosphere here is absolutely unbelievable. You see the lights carrying the show here, the great featured film put together by our people at Top Rank Boxing, and showing the history of Top Rank and the history of boxing in the past 25, 35 years is just fantastic. The crowd is filled in here now. It's a jam-packed arena. and they're ready to see Manny Pacquiao and Tim Bradley do battle for the third time. You know the story. This is a welterweight international championship bout. It's not for a world title, but it doesn't make any difference because the electricity is here. It's exciting. Manny Pacquiao has said this is his final fight. Well, that remains to be seen. A lot of fighters have said it over the years. But first off, he's got to get by and through Tim Bradley.
You know something, we've experienced this so many times, of course. But you think about all the times people say, gee, I really wish I could go to a big fight. I want to go to a big fight. I hope I can go to a big. There are a lot of people in here tonight that are experiencing this for the very first time. And maybe the only time they'll ever experience it. And it's such a thrilling moment for them, I'm sure.
And although people may have not been so excited when this fight was first announced, the excitement built with the addition of Teddy Atlas. And as we've got closer and closer, you see 12,500 people inside this arena for what very well could be the best fight of the three fights between Manny Pacquiao and Timothy Bradley. I'm excited.
Well, I'm excited too. I've done a lot of world title fights, and this is just exciting as any of us. Tim Bradley makes his way in. Three-time world champion, former WBA and WBO world champion, a long amateur career. Turned pro in 09, won 31 straight fights. He had big wins over Lamont Peterson, Devin Alexander, Joel Casamayor, and of course the first one against Manny Pacquiao. One of the most unbelievable fights in his career against Ruslan Provednikov. Since then, he's 2-1-1 with wins over Jesse Vargas and Brandon Rios and a draw with Diego Chavez. And that, of course, mixed in with a loss to Manny Pacquiao. He's a very athletic guy, very tough. Here he is, Tim Bradley. Training has been intense under Teddy Atlas. He's aggressive, but he's going to be smart in the ring. He knows he doesn't have one-punch knockout power. He won KO in his last 17 fights.
And it is amazing the synergy between Bradley and Teddy Atlas. I mean, they are like one unit. I mean, and their belief in each other is so strong.
Teddy, both you and I have known Teddy for what, 25, 30 years, and I never to the last fight that I saw him work with Tim realized was a sensitive guy and how intense he is with the fights that he's trained. They worked on a lot of film to develop a plan with Teddy for Pacquiao. And he says, I got to stay in my game plan. And Rich, what do you say about the fighting 36 minutes?
36 minutes. All I got to do is focus for 36 minutes. From the opening bell, minute at a time, 36 minutes, and I'll get to where I want to be.
Win every round, round by round, each round better than the last.
And that's very, very important because I expect there'll be some very close rounds in this fight, and that's where controversy can come in. For Manny Pacquiao, on the other hand, now, it's a different kettle of fish. This could be his last fight. His family wants him to give it up. He's, as you know, using this as maybe a springboard to his election for the Senate in the Philippines. He's a sure future Hall of Famer. Surgery on his right shoulder. He's got the distraction of running for the Philippines in the Senate.
You know,
go ahead.
Interestingly enough, Bob Arum, the promoter of this fight in Top Rank, did not promote this as Manny's last fight.
Yeah, he didn't want to say that he would be lying to the fans because, you know, fighters do change their mind all the time. And look, we've talked to Manny Pacquiao, and sometimes he says, if it is. He seems a little wishy-washy at times. Freddie's like, I'm not so sure. So what does Bob Arum look like saying it is, and then having not the fighter even definitively saying that?
Well, Bob is trying to set the record straight and keep the record straight. But I thought when we were talking to the fighters yesterday, Jim Lampley did everything he could possibly do. He's the local announcer here in the United States to try to drag it out of Manny Pacquiao that he would fight again, and all Manny would do was laugh about it.
Yeah, and Manny said, you know, I've got a pretty good IQ. I know what you're doing.
But Manny believes so much in his faith and puts a lot into God's hands. So with that being said, I think only he'll know when's the right time to retire.
Well, he's had real good sparring with this. He's had no cramps in his legs said the layoff in a way gave him a new enthusiasm for boxing. He's worked very, very hard on his body conditioning for this fight. He's a very intense guy. He's a very quick fight. And interesting enough, he's a very good friend of Tim Bradley. Bradley was a strong exponent of him winning his election in the Philippines, which Manny wouldn't talk about because he said the election rules are very strict over there. And it's not something he wants to talk about. All he wanted to talk about was the fight. So we'll give him that break. The welterweight champions, of course, are Jesse Vargas of the WBO, Kell Brooks of the IBF, Danny Garcia, the WBC, and Keith Thurman of the WBA. Either one of these guys could be fighting either one of those guys. So for Tim Bradley, it's a career-defining moment for him. For Manny Pacquiao, should it be his final fight, it'll determine that you know, the one-on-one shouldn't be there.
Well, and it's not really career-defining for Manny the way it might be for Tim. His career has been defined long before tonight.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's definitely a future Hall of Famer. Lupe Contreras is standing by, and we'll have this one underway for you momentarily. Here's Lupe.
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with the action here in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas. Once again, proudly presented to you by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, in association with MP Promotions, being sponsored by La Cerveza Tecate Born Bold, the new movie Hands of Stone, the true story of Roberto Duran, starring Edgar Ramirez, Robert De Niro, and Usher Raymond, in theaters this August. Breckenridge Distillery and our host, the MGM Grand Las Vegas. These bouts are being sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Chairman is Anthony Marnell III. Executive Director Bob Bennett. Commissioners at ringside, Skip Avancino, Francisco Aguilar, Pat Lundvall, and Nishan Martin. When the bell rings, the three judges in charge of scoring are Bert Clemens, Dave Moretti, and Steve Weisfeld. And at the sound of the bell, the man in charge, referee Tony Weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, from the biggest stage in professional boxing, the MGM Grand Arena, this is the main event of the evening. 12 rounds for the vacant WBO International welterweight, and the legacy of two great fighters. President Francisco Paco Valcarce, Supervisor Leon Panoncillo Jr. The score is 1 victory apiece. Tonight, we complete the trilogy. Once and for all, we find out quién es el más macho. Introducing first, the fighter standing in the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing white with purple and gold. When he stepped on the scale, he weighed in at an official 146.5 pounds. This perennial fight of the year candidate enters the ring with a stellar professional record of 33 victories against 1 lone defeat, 1 bout even, 13 KOs, and 1 no contest. Forged in the heat of the dirty desert, Palm Springs, California, the 5-time world champion, the Desert Storm, Timothy Bradley. Across the ring in the red corner, he enters wearing Pinoy red, white, blue, and gold. On the scale, he weighed in at an official 145.5 pounds. He rose from extreme poverty to become a global icon. And he set a record 10 world titles in 8 different divisions. If this happens to be his final bout as a professional, he leaves us with a record of 57 victories, with only 6 losses, 2 bouts even, 38 of those victories coming by way of KO. The humble warrior from Sarangani Province, the Philippines, Manny Backman Pacquiao.
So the stage is set. We want to say hello to all our viewers all over the world. Rich just got a text from Paul Upham down in Australia, so I want to say hello to all our Aussie boxing fans. I'll be down there for the Jeff Horn fight in a couple of weeks. We look forward to Jeff Horn and Randall Bailey doing battle. But this one is now the WBO welterweight international fight.
I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourselves at all times. Let's go.
Tony Weeks with a final instruction. Again, 10-point must scoring system. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown ruler. Fighter cannot be saved with the bell in any round. Only the referee can stop the fight. This is fight 3, the legacy fight.
Much has been made. In fact, much of the promotion has been built around the battle of the trainers. Teddy Atlas against Freddie Roach. But those two trainers have exited the ring, and so now it's really mano a mano, Bradley and Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao in the white with the blue and gold on either side of his trunks, and Tim in white with purple. Tim, of course, has to deal with the fact that Manny's a southpaw, leads with his right hand. Bradley is going to be much more cerebral. In the second fight, all he wanted to do was throw the knockout punch. He never thought he could get a decision. In this one, Teddy has him working to a fight plan that they think that they found some weaknesses in Manny Pacquiao's armor. We'll find out. Nobody's taken command so far.
And we'll also wait to see what kind of power Manny throws his right hand with after having surgery on the shoulder following the Mayweather fight. And he said, you know, I felt good for the first 3 rounds. I thought everything was okay, and then it felt like my arm fell off.
Yeah, said it went completely numb, as if he didn't feel any of the punches from that round forward.
And it was operated on. We all saw the surgical scar in the right shoulder. But everything has been great. This time he did a lot of swimming to give that shoulder a lot of in the ocean. Bradley gets through with just touching the chin that time. Boy, Bradley really looks quick on his feet, doesn't he? And that's all part of Teddy's training. Remember I talked about in the last fight, one thing that stood out was the way he was able to step around against Rios, and he's able to do it in this fight as well.
That's interesting because I don't think I've ever seen a fighter who came at you from so many different angles as Manny Pacquiao. I mean, to me, he's one of the most unusual fighters of all time at a championship level because of those crazy angles that he will throw punches from. I've seen him on at least 2 or 3 occasions actually wind up behind his opponent.
Every fighter I've ever talked to in a post-fight interview that has lost to Manny Pacquiao says he just hits you with shots that you cannot see coming. There's no way to prepare. There's no one sparring partner that can emulate what Manny Pacquiao does in the ring. You need about 3 different sparring partners to do what he does. So we'll see how Teddy has Tim prepared.
Well, with 43 seconds to go in this round, not a lot between them, and this is what I expected, is a lot of close rounds in this fight. Tim gets a little shot to the body as Manny came in.
And we could very well see a lot of these extremely difficult rounds to score.
And this is one of those, and this is exactly what I expected. And there's a lot of these that can be controversy against. Now here comes the bell to end the first round of the fight, and I didn't see anything between the 2 guys. So can we expect the judges to be split on that? I don't know, but I'm going to put it down as 10-10 because I can't make up my mind. I know the judges won't. Their job is to focus 100% on it, but when it's all over, if I've got a lot of rounds like this, then it can go any way, and that creates controversy.
Round moving lateral too close. You got to be a little farther out. You know what I mean? So he can't catch on the way out with that right arm. All right? And look, I want you to make things happen. Don't wait for things to happen. Make them happen. You can use your jab. You can drag them in. Be the ocean. Control him. You can drag him in. He's looking to lean in every once in a while. So use that jab at the right distance. Step out. He'll reach in. And then you can
Teddy talking about distance and making sure that he gets out far enough before he resets and comes back in again.
Key comment there, I thought, don't wait for things to happen.
Make
things happen.
Yeah. All right, we moved to round 2. Colonel Bob Sheridan here, Rich Marotta, Christina Poncher, Manny Pacquiao in there with the gold trim on his trunks, and Tim Bradley with the gold and maroon on his trunks. Red, white, and blue shoes on Manny Pacquiao, as if I need to tell you who's who he is.
Teddy has talked about the log in the ocean. It's been a theme written about many times leading up to this fight, and he did say in that corner to Tim, be the ocean, be the ocean. So perhaps alluding to the fact that he wants him to keep moving around and make Manny stand still, being the log, and maybe Tim being the ocean. But we will know after the fight. That he'll tell us finally. It won't be a big secret anymore.
Come on, hands free, hands free.
Here's another minute gone, and no difference.
Looks like Manny was saying something in Tim's ear right there and then winked. Oh.
Nice job of Bradley getting off when Pacquiao came in that time. Real chess match, huh, Rich?
Yes, it is, and neither man is able to make something happen. Yeah.
Manny comes in, Tim uses nice defense. He came and tried to get back outside like Teddy asked him to do. Caught him with a shot on the inside.
Cool little trick by Tim Bradley.
Hard body shot by Tim.
Now Tim's starting to fight very effectively.
Uppercut. When Manny pulls out, he's trying to, that's the second time I've seen him execute that uppercut. Well, Bradley having a good second round here. Manny short with his shots because of Bradley's quickness on his feet.
And in case those of you who weren't around for Christina's earlier talk about the odds in this fight, we have come down a little bit. Manny Pacquiao just over a 2-1 favorite in this fight, but they're pretty close.
And that's a lot to do with the fact that there's a huge Filipino contingency here that lives in Las Vegas. But in reality, this fight is a lot closer than that. Landed that one punch. I don't think that's enough to give him the round, though. I think very closely Bradley won that round.
But I think fight's on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, taking a look at some of the action from round 2. Tim Bradley was very clever, I thought, in this round. He managed to get that right under the left elbow of Pacquiao. Near the end of the round, it was back to Manny Pacquiao starting to make some things occur in there. Action picked up certainly in round 2. Better round.
Bradley landed about 3 shots, and Manny, that one last we saw was about all that he really landed.
Make him do what you want him to do. Don't stand in front that long. Get off.
Let's go, let's go.
Teddy, of course, much more high-strung than is Freddie.
If they get in a desperate situation, we could see Teddy turn to his psychological tricks in the corner. He's very good at that. He knows how to coax the best out of a fighter in a corner.
Prides himself on being a teacher.
Right, and he's giving real solid boxing advice right now. That's all he needs. He's not utilizing the other stuff at this point. But if things get desperate, he could go to that.
You know, kind of when you take a look at Teddy and Freddie, it was kind of the way Emmanuel Stewart was with his fighters, as opposed to Angelo Dundee, who would teach and get excited. And Emmanuel was just a cool, calm, collected guy all the time. Been loaded up that Manny caught him coming in, and Bradley countered him with an uppercut going back out. Yeah, I can see that Teddy wants Bradley to catch him going back out. Not quite in position to do it that time. Tim slipped over there.
He really doesn't want him standing in front of Pacquiao too long, though.
That goes back to what you say. This guy is such an unusual fighter, and he moves, and he can hit you from any angle, and then being a southpaw on top of that makes it very difficult to see everything that Manny's doing. I noticed he shook out his right hand. That's the shoulder that was injured before.
Well, I found it fascinating that Tim Bradley says he feels like he has the cheat sheet to Manny Pacquiao. He said that in several interviews this week. Said it's like you've taken the test and you have all the answers. He's gone 24 rounds. He's watched tape after tape, him and Teddy study, but you know, it's hard to say you can have a cheat sheet to Manny Pacquiao, someone that's so dynamic of a fighter.
You can know what to do, but then be able to execute it on fight night, and that's what it's all about. And for Tim, it's just concentration. But this is a different Timothy Bradley than we saw in the second fight, where he was all about trying to land the big power shot. He's really boxing very, very well in this fight.
Well, barring no injuries, I think that was the game plan in the second fight. But after he tore his calf, I believe it was the 4th round, he just tried to land that home run shot. So maybe we'll get a healthy 12 rounds out of Tim Bradley in this fight.
See the way he stayed on that shoulder that time, so Manny couldn't hit him. Stayed right in there, kept his chest right on his shoulder. Seems like he may have a cheat sheet to what Manny Pacquiao does. The things that Tim is doing is not by accident.
You know, both fighters are showing some defensive prowess that they're not really known for in this fight. They're making the other guys miss.
For the life of me, I got to give that one to Bradley. How about it, Rich?
Yeah, I thought Bradley might have had a... Well, I'm not sure. Let me backtrack on that.
Yeah, well,
We have the luxury of being able to be not sure.
There's Jinky, the wife, of course, of Manny Pacquiao.
I'll never forget that heartbreaking scene of Jinky in the corner after the Marquez loss in the knockout.
There were two people that didn't see that punch. Me and Manny.
Steal the car.
Marquez is...
Steal the car. When he's out there making those movements.
Well, here comes
when
the
he's making those
psychological
moves,
stuff.
like a punch on him. Get off, and then make him reach for you. Get off and make him be late. Make him be late.
Make him be late. Get off. Make him be late.
Neither fighter has seized control of the fight, though.
No.
No.
I thought the first round was too close to call. I thought Manny won the second round. Third round, very, very close, and Timothy got that one.
Bradley felt that one of his big advantages for this fight was not blowing up between fights, that he actually came to camp at only 165 pounds, which is far less than when he normally starts. So he didn't have to run that much. He didn't have to do so much work on just losing weight like he normally was, and he was able to concentrate on the finer points and the nuances of fighting Manny Pacquiao.
You folks just take a look at the bodies of both of these fighters, and you know that they came here ready to fight. Tim trying to pressure Manny a little bit more here. Makes him miss. Tim landed the jab, and there's a counter punch by Manny. Those two punches blocked by Timothy Bradley. He gets the right hand through. Manny gets right back. Lands a shot.
And Manny wants to press the action. I mean, he talked about it this week about having something to prove and wanting to put on a good show for the fans. He knows that the fans were disappointed after the result of his last fight. So I look for him to pick up the intensity as this fight goes on.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the result, but the fact that the fight really never materialized against Mayweather.
This is already a better fight because, you know, Mayweather fights that way, and it's his way of winning. But Bradley's come here to fight, to box, and so is Manny. I think Manny's having his best round of the fight so far here in the 4th round.
You see it when he starts those flurries too, Manny, and he starts jumping up and down almost, and he's on the balls of his feet, right in front, moving forward, and that's when he starts with those flurries.
That's his adrenaline flow, Rich, as you well know. Bradley continues to feint to the outside.
He wants to counter so bad. I'm sure he's watched that Marquez tape a couple times.
On him again.
These guys are this close to landing the big one.
And then he landed that one. See, this is something else.
I think Pacquiao's having a very good round here.
I do too.
And I think Tim might get an earful when he gets back to his corner.
You think? Definitely the clearest round to score, I think, so far of the fight.
Both landed right at the bell. That one I'm giving to Pacquiao.
Teddy Atlas ran into the ring. He's got Bradley in the middle of the ring right now.
He's trying to get every second he can get with this fighter.
Well, I got the fight dead even after 4 rounds. You know, the first round I scored at 10-10. We know the judges didn't score it that way, and the action from the 4th.
All right, I thought Pacquiao had a much better round in this round. In fact, so much that I think it alarmed Teddy Atlas so much, as you saw that nice right from Pacquiao, that Atlas actually ran into the ring, grabbed Tim Bradley in mid-ring, took out his mouthpiece there, and started talking to him.
Combination, combination.
Scope.
You didn't get to see it, but we saw it. A lot of animation from Teddy Atlas with Timothy Bradley. Here we go, round number 5. The Colonel Bob Sheridan, Rich Murata, Christina Pancha, Manny Pacquiao. He's got the gold on one side of his trunks, white trunks with the gold up top. Tim has got the purple and primarily white trunks. Desert Storm in the front of his trunks. Bradley's got the white gloves. Manny Pacquiao's got the red gloves. In case you've been under a boxing rock someplace, you don't know these guys. You know them now, anyway. Bradley jumping in there, ignited a little bit by what Teddy had to say. Manny gets a straight left hand through, which is a power shot to the southpaw. Flipped him on the way out that time. Manny's in second gear now. Bradley trying to time a right hand to catch him coming in with that left hand down. Missed it. And you hear the crowd's reaction. They like what they see. We got us fight now.
Yeah, Bradley tried to use a chopping right at that time.
Windmill with that one. All short with a jab, continuing to circle around to his left of both fighters. Tim gets set, nothing landed then. Good defense by Manny Pacquiao.
But Tim's got to keep throwing like that if he's trying to outpoint Manny Pacquiao. He can't always let Manny be first in the exchanges.
Well, Teddy doesn't want to let him be first at all.
Manny hasn't done a lot in this round. Offensively, he's been following Tim around.
Tim caught him with an uppercut coming in. A little bit of an exchange there. Who gets the best of it? Nobody really.
I think Bradley's having much the better of it myself in this round.
I agree with you. People chanting Bradley. Blocks those punches from Manny. Catches him with a right hand. Catches him with another right hand. Manny threw a lot of punches, but nothing landed. Crowd really into it now.
It's starting to get emotional in here.
Yeah. This is really good stuff now.
He caught Bradley clear.
Pacquiao got him that time, that straight left. That was a little of the old Manny.
Yeah, and that's his power shot. But I still don't think that straight left hand